Hail and Mashes Adventures, welcome to the world of Baldurs Gate 3. It's me, the Spud King, and today I present to you my new Cleric build, and it will be Cleric of the Knowledge Domain. So, Knowledge Domain is very unique, interesting, and pretty cool domain for Clerics, because our spells is somewhat unique to this Cleric type. It's like light domain, which getting like fireballs and other stuff. We getting a lot of control stuff. So we controlling battlefield with our knowledge. So for our race of choice, we're picking elf, especially high elf, to get this cantrip. As always, you can pick whatever race you like, but after you watch this video, you will understand why I'm picking this high elf. So our cantrip of choice is any cantrip that you like. Damaging cantrip, but I like firebolt, straightforward cantrip. So it got intelligence spellcasting ability, so you want pretty high intelligence when you play in this cleric. And basically when you play in this cleric, you get in 3 cantrips as always. As always, it's Sacred Flame, Guidance, and Produce Flame. Very nice combination for first levels. As Knowledge Cleric, you get this Command feature and Sleep. It's not features, of course, it's spells. So deity, doesn't matter, pick wherever you like, it affects only dialogues. For background I pick an Acolyte to get insight into religion, and for our abilities I use this distribution. So we dump in strength, we dump in charisma, we don't need the stats. Dexterity, just to fill our medium armor, we need this medium armor. Constitution, 14 is nice start to get some HP so we don't die and we heal others. Wisdom, our main and primary ability, casting ability. It will give us additional spell slots, additional save difficulty checks for enemies, so it will be harder for them. And we get an intelligence to 14, of course, with this build, because we got some intelligence spells, like most importantly cantrips like Firebolt. Just like that, we are ready to go into the game. So at the start of the game, make sure to use your cantrip, your spells, because your mace will do 0 damage sometime, because we got -1 from strength, and try to find some finest weapons like short sword. But you will start with Shield of Faith on yourself, and it will give you 19 armor class. That's crazy AC. It's almost impossible to hit you on these levels, so just feel safe and find some nice weapons. So let's level up a little bit. On second level, as always, we get in this turn undead. As for every other cleric, when we facing undead, we can turn them and they will only run around and doing nothing. So as our action, it will use our channel divinity charges that can be replenished on short rest and long rest, of course. So first action that we get is Knowledge of Ages, and we gain proficiency in all skills of chosen ability. That's like nice exploration and pretty cool stuff. So for a spell on this level you can pick Bless, just in case you don't need this armor and instead you need bonus to attack rolls to hit some big and fat targets. And just like that, let's go to level 3. Level 3 gives us ability to cast level 2 spells, and we already get this Hold Person and Calm Emotion from our subclass. Hold Person is really great spell that can hold person basically, and he won't be able to do anything, but it can be casted only on humanoids. Calm Emotions is cool if you're facing enemies that can charm or frighten you. As for spells with this domain, I would go with more disabled road. For example, Silence is nice stuff to silence some area and make this area not viable for enemies to cast spells from this part. Spiritual Weapon, always nice pick. I basically picking this always in my all builds with all clerics, but for this one I won't pick it, because it's like more control guy, more control battlefield hero. So what we have here, we have this day start spells, so it's a Knowledge of Ages, and we can pick any proficiency we like. You can check it in inventory, go in skills, and just pick whatever you like. So for example, you want to have resistance against being shot, just go and use this Knowledge of Ages Strange on yourself, of course, and now you got, instead of -1, +1 to these checks. So just pick whatever you like, whatever you need in the current situation. And next, of course, just cast Shield of Faith on yourself and you're ready to go into the battle with this awesome 19 AC. As this type of control person in early game, you want to use sleep as much as possible to put enemies into sleep. You can put creatures up to 24 hit points. For example, every imp got only 6 hit points, so you can basically put all imps into sleep, press OK, and they will be asleep right now, and your team can go, your party, and attack this imp. Now you can do it yourself, of course, it's easier to hit sleeping creatures, and you can use your cantrips with advantage easily, because they're sleeping, you get this advantage. Or you can use level 1 spells like Guiding Bolt, it will inflict more damage. So that's like our combination. But make sure to check your spell slots, because you got only 4 spell slots of first level and 2 spell slots of second level. This means you can cast like 4 Guiding Bolts, but you can upcast them to inflict more damage with second level spell slot. So just for now I will use my cantrip on this imp to attack him and do some damage. And now he woke up. And as you can see, when you're rolling these intelligence-based skills, you're using your proficiency and intelligence modifiers. That's why we want this intelligence at least at 14, to get at least a little bit of modifying. So another spell to keep in mind is Command. It requires wisdom saving throw from your enemies, and difficulty will be calculated with your wisdom. That's why wisdom is still your main attribute. So command is cool stuff. You can command to fall prone for 1 turn, to flee for 1 turn, to drop weapon for 1 turn, to approach yourself for 1 turn, or to halt, to stay in the place basically. It all depends on situation, but most fun of course is to command someone to drop their weapon, and if it hits them, then they will basically drop their weapon and you can pick up this weapon and they will forced to attack you with bare hands. That's like funniest stuff in the game in my opinion. So let's level up a little bit more and wrap up our build. So level 4 additional cantrip, pick Thaumaturgy, just best in dialogues to get advantage on intimidation checks, and we get an additional feat. Right now we basically want to get more wisdom. So just add ability improvement into wisdom, and just like that, let's go to level 5. Level 5 cleric gets this awesome feature that every cleric gets. Destroy undead. When you turn undead, they will get additional radiant damage. That's cool, that's nice to have, so when you're fighting undeads, always use this turn undead feature, and they will be inflicted with additional damage. And as spell from our domain, we get this Speak with the Dead, very nice spell. It will be always prepared, you can cast it on yourself on the start of the day, and basically you will be able to speak with the dead. Slow is nice disable spell. It requires concentration, but you will slow up to 6 enemies, and this will halve their movement speed. And you can use it to your advantage. You can basically slow a lot of enemies and then basically kite. You go backwards, attack them with range spells, range weapons with your party, and they can't do nothing. And most importantly, their armor class will be reduced by 2. And that's great feature for your party members, because -2 to armor class, same as +2 to attack rolls, and that's big. So we got a lot of spells to prepare right now, and while Spirit Guardians is still one of the best spells in the game, for Cleric in my opinion, for this build I will go with Glyph of Warding, Protection from Energy, and Revivify. Yeah, we get access to all of these spells, so if you don't like the spells, or you don't need them, for example, you don't need Protection from Energy, just remove this stuff and get Mass Healing Ward, just get Spirit Guardians and play like any other cleric, just running around with the Spirit Guardians, but we're making here Control Knowledge Cleric. So let's go to level 6. Level 6, additional divinity charges, that's nice. Additional spells, we don't care. Let's go to level 7. So level 7 is cool because we get access to level 4 spells, and that's nice spells to have. First of all, we get this Dash Ward. That's cool spell that will give ability to cast it on yourself or on teammate, and when creature basically dying, instead of dying, it will be revived with 1 hit points. Very cool stuff. Another cool spell is Freedom of Movement, to be protected from difficult terrain, or you can go with Guardian of Faith, very nice zoning tool. So now we get additional subclass features on level 8, and it's potent spell casting. So we can add our Wisdom modifier to damage of our cantrips, and that's cool part. Around this level you won't need this Firebolt cantrip anymore, so you can basically dump intelligence after respecking and get some strength. So for our spell we finally can pick Freedom of Movement, and that's a nice combination of spells. And what we want to do, we want to pick here Magic Initiate, Wisdom modifier, so we want to pick Druid cantrip this turn. This will be Poison Spray and Thorn Whip. Or another good choice will be Shillelagh. And you can pick one spell from Druid spell list. So depending on what you like more, you can pick Long Strider to buff your party, or you can pick Goodberry just to give more healing to your party. So that's nice spell too. Next up, we are on level 9. So level 9 comes with new spells from level 5 and 2 spells from our subclass. It's Telekinesis and Dominate Person. Very cool controlling spells again. So for our prepared spells, right now we want to pick basically any spell you like, because most of the spells is concentration based, but Flame Strike is nice damaging spell if you need this damage, or Greater Restoration is good when you need some protection from charm, petrification, stun, and basically cure creatures that is affected by these effects. So let's go to level 10, of course, and level 10 is awesome because we get this awesome class Future, which will give us ability to cast, and we can cast it only one time per game. That's awesome. So additional cantrip, we don't care, this like resistance will be good. No new spells, we don't need them. We can continue our journey, and we get to our level 11 when we get access to level 6 spells. And for this cleric, we can go with basic cleric spell, Healer's Feast, or we can go with Heal to have ability to heal someone for 70 hit points. Sometimes it's very useful. Or vice versa, we can inflict 14d6 damage to enemy. For exactly this type of cleric, we want to control stuff and we want to heal allies, so heal is nice pick. And for level 12, we get in our last feat, and our last feat will go into Wisdom +2, of course, to increase damage on our cantrips. Another good feat is Warcaster to keep concentration on our spells, so pick whatever you like. In one situation Wisdom is better, in different situations Warcaster could be much more beneficial, but for this type of cleric it's not so beneficial. So Divine Intervention that you can use one time per game, you can revivify your ally, you can inflict damage, or you can use and get some camp supplies and potions, or you can get legendary weapon. Just like that, you can get this awesome mace +3 weapon. So that's something like your spell list. You want to start with Long Strider to give you additional movement speed into your party. If you're using Club, of course, use the Shillelagh just to get more damage from your hand. You can start with Knowledge of the Ages to get some proficiency in these different checks. And you will add your modifier to your cantrip. So basically Thorn Whip is now very useful cantrip, which will do your Wisdom modifier as damage, and that's pretty nice increase in damage. Another stuff that you want to cast on the start of the day is Protect Ward on yourself to protect you from dying, or your ally if your ally is dying more than you. Freedom of movement to get protection from hard terrain. Now you're moving fast, you're protected from hard terrain, and if you need, you can speak with the dead. Basically just go and animate this dude, say what's up bro. So what you want to do in battle with this Knowledge Domain Cleric build? As always, there's 3 basic options to use Guardian of Faith to make some protected zone, and he will attack every enemy in this zone he protects. And whenever enemy attack your allies in this zone, he will attack too. So it's like nice zone to stay for your mages, for your range combatants and other guys. Flame Strike, as always, don't require any concentration. You can use wherever you like the spell, and you can keep concentration on some protective spells or on Spirit Guardians. So Spirit Guardians will be just spirits that hover around you and doing damage when you come in nearby targets. So here's our target, we come nearby, and he will be dead if he will be hostile. Right now he's sleeping, so he's fine, and it will last for 10 turns, keep this in mind. So saddest part about this cleric is that Channel Divinity is used only for this Knowledge of Ages, and you will be able only to use this stuff. That's not really funny, other clerics got more cool features. But right now let's wake up these guys, and I show you the reason why you can play this dude and you will enjoy him. So as I told you, most of all, for controlling stuff. If you're really enjoying this controlling battlefield, controlling your enemies, it will be your pick. So first of all, we get this Hold Person, of course. But that's pretty boring right now, so let's use Slow. When you use Slow, target becoming very slow. So now he is slowed for 10 turns while you're concentrating on him. And if you don't have any ranged weapon, or ways to attack you from range, you basically can run away from him, use your Sacred Flame, use Thorn Whip, use your cantrips to attack him from the distance, or just equip Double Hand Crossbow, and as you can see, he dashed for this distance. He trying to close our distance with us, but he won't be able to do it because we can run away. And we can end turn one more time. So look, he's trying to dash one more time. And that's like crazy part, very funny part. So if you enjoyed this stuff, that's cool. But he can be saved on next turn. As you can see, he's saved. And another cool stuff, of course, is hold person. You can basically try to hold him. And if you succeed on this stuff, every attack against this dude will be critical strike. So if we hit him, it will be critical strike. But most importantly, if your weapon is not good enough, maybe it is, you can use your cantrips. And coolest part, you get 100% hit chance. So this works for every spell and every attack. For every attack and every spell that uses attack roll. So just check out description and we can see there's attack roll on this firebolt. We can attack him with 100%. And as you can see, we inflicted critical damage. So our damage roll was 6d10. And we ended with 39 damage. Another cool stuff you can do is concentrate on this telekinesis spell. So you can concentrate on any enemy that you want and you can throw them on the very large distance. And the coolest part, when you throw him, if you succeed on the spell, you can do it every turn for 10 turns in a row. And as you can see, he just saved from our telekinesis and we are not able to do it. But there's a little life hack for you. When you're using telekinesis on enemy, it's 80%, but when you use it on allies, it's 100%. So when you want to use this telekinesis, better start with some items and throw them on your enemies, just like that. So that will be like our first move, and now we get this telekinesis and we can use it every turn without expending our spell slot for 10 turns. That's like a little and very cool life hack to use. So even if you fail right now this, but we succeeded and he is prone. So even if I fail on second turn, I can cast it on next turn. But if we start with failing, then we can't do it. Always heal your teammates with bonus action, don't forget to use it. And let's hold this dude to show you best way to use this hold person. So good combination actually is not so straightforward. There's two spells that use attack roll in your arsenal. It's Guiding Bolt and Inflict Wounds, and as you can see, they're doing 3d10 damage on level 1 and 4d6 on level 1. Inflict Wounds can do 8d10 damage if upcasted up to level 6. If you don't need this heal from level 6 or feast, just use this Inflict Wounds on level 6 on your target, just like that. And he will disappear basically, because you will roll 16d10 in one turn. That's crazy. And that's how you play Knowledge Domain Cleric. I hope you enjoyed this video and watch more cool videos on the skin right now. See you in the next videos, guys.